Alright, this one here is a doozy, but we're going to do everything within our power to try and make it nice and easy. Nice and simple. I got her EX in 14 tickets. I'm happy. I'm excited, and we're going to talk about the importance of Alisaie. Right off the gate, she's a lot of fun, but I will say that she's not beginner friendly at all. She's very, very, very complex with her kit. It requires proper knowledge on how to use it and proper knowledge on the buffs that she gets to herself and everything. So we're going to try and make this as simple as we can. Alright, so with her 4 abilities, Alisaie did actually get a rework upon the release of her Lost Chapter, which is nice. So Verero and for Thunder actually do HP damage now, which is amazing because it was so annoying to waste turns with her trying to get Verero and Thunder built up. But they now do HP damage. Both of them now raise her max Brave. Verero, which is her first skill, will raise her white crystals. Her Thunder will raise her black mana, white and black mana. So the point of Alisaie is to rotate between the skills while building up her mana so she can do some more powerful stuff. Verero will give you 2 white mana. Thunder will give you 2 black mana, along with the buffs that they provide to her. Upon use of Verero and Thunder, Verero will change to Stone, and Thunder will change to Fire. They both increase her attack stat while both having a chance to give her the dual cast frame buff, which we'll talk about in a second. They both now give 3 white crystals, white mana, and 3 black mana. Upon using, when you get to a certain amount of mana, her HP attack is also going to change. So at 2 of each, it's going to change to Enchanted Riposte. Never use it. Don't use it. It's not worth it. At 5 of each, it's going to change to Enchanted Redoublement, which has 150% overflow, which is incredible. 150% overflow is fantastic on an HP attack. I'm just going to point that out, and it does a lot of damage. So it has 150% overflow, and then it then changes her first skill, regardless if it's Ver or Ver Stone, into Ver Holy, and Ver Thunder, regardless if it's Ver Thunder or Ver Fire, it will change into Ver Flare. Once you use either of them, it will revert back to the abilities they were before, so make sure you're paying attention to that. And they will increase, depending on the skill, the mana to that respective skill. So if you use Ver Holy, you're increasing your white mana by 5. If you're using Ver Flare, you're increasing your black mana by 5. Now, it's self-explanatory what each of the abilities will do. Verero is wind, Ver Thunder is thunder, Ver Fire is, fire, Ver Stone is, earth. And so it's pretty self-explanatory. So she has multiple elements that she can work with. Her EX Jolt 2 combo is a 3-hit Brave attack followed by an HP attack. It increases both the white mana and black mana by 2. It extends the dual cast, which we'll talk about in just a second, by 1 turn. Instant turn rate, so it does not add to the turn count. It does not waste a turn. So by using this, you can essentially save some turns while putting in damage. And it's really nice. Excuse me. It's really nice to refresh your white mana as well. So the dual cast, what dual cast is that both of her second forms of her abilities have a chance of giving her is a free ability usage. So it'll give you 1 dual cast, and when you use it, the next ability that you use will be free. And if you continue to use the second form of their ability, so say you cast, so you use the first 2, you now cast Ver Stone, you get dual cast. Cool. Ver Fire is now going to be free, but there's a chance that Ver Fire will actually give you another dual cast. So you can then use another ability for free. It's really nice because that makes her it gives her very good longevity. And along with her Jolt 2 extending the duration of her dual cast, you can use the EX without having to worry about wasting it. The only time that you don't want to use anything else other than your abilities is when you're going to use Enchanted Redoublement, because that will waste dual cast. You want to take advantage of the free turns. You want to take advantage of the free skill usage. So use the skill before you use Enchanted Redoublement. So that's pretty much the gist. It's a lot, trust me. So on top of her level 70, she gets more stat boosts and everything. At level 65, she gets attack advance, which slightly raises attacks and increases the amount of Brave stolen, which is fantastic for 2 turns. So it increases, I think it's by 10%. I'm not sure, but it increases the overflow on all of her abilities. The only abilities that she has that has overflow is Ver Holy, which is 150%, Ver Fire, which is 150%, and Enchanted Redoublement. This gives her the opportunity to have the rest of her abilities that don't have any overflow to overflow, including the EX, which is nice. It's kind of a shame that the EX doesn't have overflow, but I mean, it makes sense for what it does. It doesn't relatively hit all that hard, but you get a free turn. You're not wasting any turns. So it's kind of useful in that regards. So with that being said, is Alisaie important for the Cosmos era? Look, I'm going to be honest. She's a lot of fun. She's an absolute blast to play, and I'm having so much fun playing her and using her. I do have to work on her a little bit. My artifacts are booty cheeks. I'll show you real quick. Yeah, my artifacts suck. I haven't gotten anything new from, when she first dropped, and that was when we were only allowed to have 3 at a time. Yeah, those were dark days. So I'm kind of just waiting for the next character event to roll around, because Alisaie should be synergy there, and it's much easier to farm for artifacts from that instead of the World of Illusion, which sucks balls. But the thing with Alisaie is that you really need to build a team comp around her. Alisaie is very fast. She's going to be stealing a lot of turns, and because of that, if you don't have someone with good bravery gen, if you don't have someone with good attack buffs, like someone, for example, like Ash, who helps out Alisaie in both departments, if you don't have someone that can make Alisaie work better, she's going to be stealing so many turns that it's going to kind of be pointless, because she's just not going to be doing a lot of damage. She has a solid max brave stat. Without any other max brave buff, she's sitting at about 20k just on her own outside of synergy, which is nice. But you really got to work with her. You really need to help her out and build the team around helping and supporting Alisaie. And if you can do that, you're gonna have one crazy damage dealer on your team, because she's fantastic in the damage department in certain regards. The only thing that does hinder her as well is if there is a boss that resists any of the 4 elements that she works with: wind, fire, holy, or earth. It's going to hinder her a little bit. If they resist multiple, there's really no point in bringing her. If they resist one, maybe there's some opportunity to still work around and try her out. But another thing is she does have a super complex kit, which I'll give you my method that I'm trying out now. Talk around. Other YouTubers are helping out with this too. Try and find a method that works best for you, but sometimes there is a better method than what you could be doing now, so that's what I'm going to try and help out with. But she has a very complex kit. She's not beginner friendly, like, at all. If you're new to the game, you should not be pulling for her. She requires a lot of work, a lot of attention, and a lot of knowledge of what she can do and her skills. She's very veteran fun. I'm not saying like a beginner can't pick her up and learn her. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, honestly, as a beginner, it's really not worth it to drop what you're doing, the resources that you're using, especially when this month is already so stacked, on characters that are fairly simple and really easy to grab and pick up. That'll be a huge asset to your team. Alisaie can be an asset to your team. It's just you need proper teams, and you need a proper setup. So the method that I found works best for me is Ver Arrow, Ver Thunder. They change. You go into Ver Stone and Ver Fire. Set up those first. Get those out of the way first, and then you can use the EX. You use the EX, and then from there, when you have the EX, yes, you're already at you'll be at 7 mana. Now you'll be at max mana because you used all your abilities to get up to 5. The EX gets you up to 7. Then it's up to you if you want to pop her new fort skill to increase her max brave, then go into Enchanted Redoublement, and then whichever one you decide to go with next will be up to you, ver holy or ver fire. Just make sure you're then recycling the mana that you need to get back. But also make sure that you're taking advantage of dual cast and going back and using older skills, like older versions of her skills, just to continue to apply buffs. So you're not going to be using as Enchanted Redoublement as much as you used to with her, because you want to focus on using your skills quite often so you can keep her buffs on. And since she's going to be stealing turns quite a bit, you're going to be doing that a lot. So that's the method that's been working for me. That's what I found has been working for me. Test out what works best for you. You know, talk around with your friends and everything. Ask other, go to other YouTubers for theirs, because I know Broadway Saying and Josepher are very good on that. They put out like their thoughts on what could be best to run with Alisaie. That's my thoughts. That's what I think would be best for her. So is Alisaie important for the Cosmos era? I don't think she's important. No, I don't think so. Especially in the month that she releases in. This month is stacked. We're getting Noctis. We're getting Sync. We're getting Porum. Sync is okay. I mean, like, she's super powerful. She's really slow, but we'll talk about that later. We're getting a bunch of crazy powerhouses and selfies coming back later this month with her EX. We're getting a lot of powerhouses. So Alisaie is amongst those powerhouses, but it's understandable if you skip her for other characters that are dropping this month. She is an easily skippable character, but you can make fantastic use out of her if you have her and if you can build her. If you can build your team properly around Alisaie, she will put in work. She will do the job. She's a crazy damage dealer. You just have to make sure you're paying attention to her and utilizing her properly. That's pretty much it. I don't think she's important for Cosmos. You can get use out of her until probably about, I want to say, you could probably get use out of Alisaie pretty much through almost all of Cosmos except for the end ones. Especially if you continue to utilize, the characters that will assist her and help her out, as long as you build a team around her. So I think she can last quite a while. Is she important? Is she like a die, like you should spend all you have to get her? Absolutely not. She's a very fun, very powerful character. Easily skippable though, so it's up to you on what you want to do. Those are just my thoughts. I went in for her because I think she's a lot of fun. I luckily only got her in 14 tickets, but I think she's a blast, and you'll be seeing her quite a bit on the channel as well, because I will be using her alongside like Zac and Warrior of Light and things like that. Not Zac and Warrior of Light on the same team, and unfortunately just doesn't work. Warrior of Light takes Zac's aggro, which is so upsetting. Yeah, they just don't mesh well. They have different roles, but that's okay. That's all right. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry about it. I'm okay. But Alisaie is a great character. It is understandable if you decide to skip, and it's understandable if you don't pull for her, mostly just because of how she is and how she plays. She'll get the job done if you grab her. You just have to work with her. You have to work around her. You have to learn her. She's not beginner friendly, so beginners, I do suggest you hold off on grabbing her. Wait until she hasn't returned yet on JP. There is no EX Plus for Alisaie yet on JP, so there's no keeping up with her in the future as of now, so we don't know how good of a future investment she is. But she's a fantastic character. Important for Cosmos? Not by any means, but we'll do the job. We'll get the job done. A very powerful character and a lot of fun to play. Those are my thoughts, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.